Okay, so we've discussed the first four Paurhi, the first four steps of Asakivar over the last couple of months. And this is the summary or the flow of the first four steps, the first four Paurhi. So, एक second. Okay. So, ਸਭ ਤੋਂ ਪਹਿਲਾਂ ਆ ਸ਼ੁਰੂ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਹੁੰਦੀ ਆ ਉਹ ਹੈਗਾ ਕਿ ਸਭ ਤੋਂ ਵੱਡੀ ਆਸ ਕੀ ਹੈ ਕਿ ਆਪੀ ਨੇ ਆਪ ਸਾਜਿਓ, ਆਪੀ ਨੇ ਰਚਿਓ ਨਾਉ, ਦੂਈ ਕੁਦਰਤ ਸਾਜੀ ਹੈ ਕਰੇ ਆਸਣ ਡਿੱਠੋ ਚਾਓ। ਠੀਕ ਹੈ, ਹੁਣ ਇਹ ਜਦੋਂ ਅਸੀਂ ਸੁਣਦੇ ਹਾਂ, when we listen to the Bani, the very first Paurhi of Asakivar, people think about the concept of God, because ohi prachallat hai, that's what's known traditionally out there, and that this God is out there on its own, and we have a relationship with that God, mostly of people who are trying to please, so the God does not get upset, God does not punish, so that we can have what we want, which are the things that make us happy. ਜਿਹੜੀ ਚੀਜ਼ਾਂ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਖੁਸ਼ ਰੱਖਦੀਆਂ ਨੇ ਅਸੀਂ ਉਹਨੂੰ ਸੁੱਖ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਹਾਂ, ਜਿਹੜੀ ਚੀਜ਼ਾਂ ਦੁਖੀ ਕਰਦੀਆਂ ਨੇ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਦੁੱਖ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਹਾਂ। ਅਤੇ ਅਸੀਂ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਹਾਂ ਵੀ ਕਿ ਇਹਦਾ ਸਾਰੀ ਚੀਜ਼ਾਂ ਦਾ ਤਅੱਲਕ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਉਸ ਇੱਕ ਨਾਲ ਆ, ਰੱਬ ਨਾਲ ਆ, ਅਤੇ ਉਹਨੂੰ ਖੁਸ਼ ਰੱਖੀਏ। ਜੇ ਗੁਰਬਾਣੀ ਨਾਲ ਸਾਡੀ ਵਾਕਫੀਅਤ ਹੋਏ ਤਾਂ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਕਲੀਅਰ ਹੋ ਜਾਏਗਾ ਕਿ ਇਹ ਗੱਲ ਸ਼ੁਰੂ ਤੋਂ ਹੀ ਗਲਤ ਆ, ਕਿਉਂਕਿ ਗੁਰਬਾਣੀ ਸ਼ੁਰੂ ਹੁੰਦੀ ਹੈ ਇੱਕ ਨਾਲ, ਇੱਕ ਓੰਕਾਰ ਸੱਤ। ਇਹ ਸੱਤ ਆ, ਸੱਤ ਕੀ ਆ ਕਿ ਇੱਕ ਹੀ ਆ, ਐਂਡ ਦੈਟ ਵਨ has manifested itself। ਉਹੀ ਓੰਕਾਰ ਸਰੂਪ ਹੈ। ਓੰਕਾਰ ਮੇਲ ਹੈ ਓੰਗ ਅਤੇ ਆਕਾਰ ਦਾ। ਓੰਗ ਇਜ਼ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਕਿ ਨਿਰਗੁਣ ਹੈ, ਐਂਡ ਆਕਾਰ ਇਜ਼ ਸਾਕਾਰਿਤ ਹੋ ਗਿਆ ਹੈ। ਸੋ ਦੈਟਸ ਦ ਗੁਣ, ਦੈਟਸ ਦੀ manifestation, that's the qualitative aspect of the one। ਸੋ ਇੱਕ ਨੇ ਆਪਣੇ ਆਪ ਨੂੰ ਪ੍ਰਗਟ ਕੀਤਾ ਹੈ, ਠੀਕ ਹੈ, ਆਪੀ ਨੇ ਆਪ ਸਾਜਿਓ, ਆਪੀ ਨੇ ਰਚਿਓ ਨਾਮ। ਸੋ ਇਸ ਦਾ ਸਾਡੇ ਨਾਲ ਤਅੱਲਕ ਹੈ। ਦਿਸ ਥਿੰਗ ਇਜ਼ intrinsically tied to who we are and how we function as human beings and everything that functions, because everything has desire। ਸਾਰਿਆਂ ਦੀ ਆਸਾਵਾਂ ਨੇ। ਸਾਡਾ ਸਾਰਾ ਜੀਵਨ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਸਾਡੀ ਆਸ ਕਰਕੇ ਹੈ, ਸਾਡੀਆਂ ਸਾਰੀਆਂ ਪ੍ਰੋਬਲਮਸ ਸਾਰੇ ਆਸ ਕਰਕੇ ਹੈ। all our webs of interconnections and our bonds that keep us tied down are because of desire. That's the number one. And what does that tells us? Is that it's all about orientation. This becomes clear later in Gurbani, but when I say it, it'll make sense. Ki desire te hai, ਹਰ ਇੱਕ ਚੀਜ਼ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਅਸੀਂ ਕਰਦੇ ਹਾਂ ਸਾਡੇ ਡਿਜ਼ਾਇਰ ਕਰਕੇ ਹੈ, ਸਾਡੀ ਆਸ ਕਰਕੇ ਹੈ, ਪਰ ਉਹ ਕਿਸ ਪਾਸਿਓਂ ਆ ਅਤੇ ਕਿੱਥੋਂ ਆ ਰਹੀ ਹੈ, ਸਾਨੂੰ ਉਸ ਦੀ ਪਛਾਣ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੈ। We don't know where we are sourced. If I have a strong urge, when people say, why did you do this, why did you do that, why are you engaged in this and not in that, that has something to do with desire, but it has even more to do with where the desire comes from. What is the desire connected with? And that is the thing we are not aware of in our life. If I don't know the cause of my problem, the cause of my disease, I'm going to remain sick. Like, that's a basic understanding. Like, all of us have sicknesses in our life, physical ailments or mental ailments and otherwise. We go to doctors, and especially where we are, they try to treat the symptom. They will try to treat the pain, but not go for the real solution. Where is the problem coming from? But that has something to do with something fundamental. Like, most of us, what we consume, what we eat, what we drink is at the core of it. But it's not just drink and eat. Drinking and eating is consumption. Consumer. We are consumers. This whole society functions on consumerism. But what does that really give us? It gives us a clue that it's about what we take in. What do we allow in? And what makes a home inside of me? If I am abused, if I am beaten, if I don't get to live a life, as in like my urges are being beaten down by someone else, what's the biggest problem with that? That goes against the very first step, which is api ne aap sajiyo, api ne rachio nao, dui kudrat sajiye, kari asan ditho chao. The one is doing this with zest, with cha. Cha is not just a thanda ya khayal. Most of what we deal with are thoughts. But this entire manifestation and each manifestation is about chao. ਆਪਣੇ ਅੰਦਰੋਂ ਚਾਹ ਸਟਰੋਂਗ ਆ, ਉਹ ਲਾਈਫ ਨੂੰ ਜੀਣ ਦਾ ਡਾਇਰੈਕਸ਼ਨ ਦਿੰਦਾ, ਐਂਡ ਦੈਟ ਗਿਵਸ ਅਸ ਦੀ ਐਨਰਜੀ when something gets in my way. How do I break that barrier and move past? It's only what's compelling me. I will break through any barrier for something that is important enough. To people who want to protect a loved one, a younger child especially, incredible things have been performed by people who don't even weigh more than 120 pounds, 150 pounds. They'll get a vehicle off the child. That doesn't make sense, but people are able to do it. It's because there's something strong inside. So the question is, ਕਿਹੜੀ ਚੀਜ਼ ਨਾਲ ਜੁੜੇ ਆ ਤੇ ਕੀ ਸੰਬੰਧ ਆ, ਰਿਸ਼ਤਾ ਕੀ ਹੈ? ਉਹ ਆਸ ਦਾ ਕਨੈਕਸ਼ਨ ਹੈ. So this is about orientation. And this is what in Gurbani it talks about manmat ya gurmat. And with orientation ki bhi hun meri jehdiyan feelings ne andron meriyan aas ne ਉਹ ਕਿਸੇ ਦਾ ਭਲਾ ਕਰ ਸਕਦੀਆਂ ਨੇ ਤੇ ਕਿਸੇ ਦਾ ਨੁਕਸਾਨ ਕਰ ਸਕਦੀਆਂ ਨੇ. ਠੀਕ ਆ? ਬਲੇਡ ਆ, a scalpel. I can cut and kill somebody, or I can cut and I can cure somebody's problem. Because if I have a boil, that needs to be lanced. Just by looking at it and praying is not going to help. It needs to be cut, so what's sick, the sickness inside can come out, and what is in can heal, right? And how will it heal? It'll heal by exposure. I'm giving a lot of clues here because these come up later in the Bani and in all of Gurbani. Exposure is necessary. Gurbani says, Panda toye bas tup devo to dudek go javo. We want to run and we think, I learned a little thing, I heard something cool, half-baked. Now let me go ahead and try to do something with that. But I haven't really reflected is, what was it addressing? There is a deeper problem that is talking about. Focus on those things, not just on what you can do. Because most of us, most of the time, are human doings. We are not human beings. We all want to know, what should I do? Give me a prescription. That's why people show up to saints and other dere, is because somebody is there, ready, with a prescription. As long as you commit to them and you give them money, you give them commitment, they will give you whatever prescription you need. And then you just do the prescription and you think you're getting somewhere. But Gurbani is not about that. Gurbani, if we were to pay attention, there's not one person. There are so many people through which this wisdom comes to us, but they're never asking us to commit to them. Every Nanak in here, only one of them was called Nanak. So that tells you that they are minusing themselves from the process, because the only thing that matters is Gyan, Gur Gyan. It's the Gyan, the wisdom that matters. And we've talked about Gyan, what Gyan is. So it starts with desire, and then it's about करे आसन डिठो चाओ दाता करता आप तू तुसी देना करे पसाओ तू जानो ही सब से दे लैसा जिंद गवाओ करे आसन डिठो चाओ. Right? And the next one is asan karke. Asan is to make a home, to find a place to operate from. And by the way, that's us. That's the seat of consciousness, where it operates from. Now, what is that for? It's all for something. But that something is not the thing that it's going to dictate to us, because it is living through us. Question is, what am I going to create? What is my desire going to put its effort in bringing into light, bringing into something that didn't exist? What will that thing be? And there are people in this world that have brought huge things. ਕਈਆਂ ਨੇ ਦੁਨੀਆ ਤੇ ਬਹੁਤ ਇੰਪੈਕਟ ਲਿਆਂਦਾ ਹੈ, ਬਹੁਤ ਕੁਝ, ਪਰ ਇਹ ਸਾਰਾ ਕੁਝ ਚੰਗਾ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੁੰਦਾ. ਕਈ ਚੀਜ਼ਾਂ ਦੁਨੀਆ ਤੇ ਤਬਾਹੀ ਮਚਾਉਂਦੀਆਂ ਨੇ ਆਪਣਾ ਨਾਂ ਲਈ, ਕਿ ਬੰਦਾ ਚਾਹੁੰਦਾ ਕਿ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਕੋਈ ਨਾ ਭੁੱਲੇ. ਹਾਂਜੀ, ਲੋਕੀ ਪੈਸਾ ਦਿੰਦੇ ਨੇ ਕਿ ਵੀ ਫਿਲੈਂਥਰਪੀ ਹੈ, ਸਾਰਾ ਕੁਝ ਆਪਣੇ ਨਾਮ ਲਈ ਹੈ. ਤੇ ਨਾਮ ਦਾ ਕੀ ਹੈ? ਇਹ ਆਪਣਾ ਨਾਮ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਤੇ ਝੂਠਾ ਨਾਮ ਹੈ. इस नाम का मतलब की है? जेड़ी चीज़, the name that my parents call me, these are just words. It's a sound. That's not who we are. That's not naam. Gurbani de vich naam central hai. Name, the name that we get is not the name. It's the naam that Gurbani is referring to, which is a deeper concept of being. Who I am being. And who I am being internally may be different from who I show people that I'm being. Because that has to do with my doing. People will say, oh, ये तो बड़ा जी बड़ी सेवा करता है. बड़े सेवा करने वाले ने कितना तबाही मचाई हैगी दुनिया 'ਚ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ पता ही है. ठीक है, सारे गुरुद्वारे की सेवा वो कर जाते हैं. All the historicity is killed. That's not seva. That's destruction. Some of us have experienced things that are no longer there. I have been into the home where Guru Nanak lived when he was sent over from his family to his sister's place. I have been there. There's something you feel. I focus mostly on Gurbani, but I will just tell you this, that there is something that you feel that you cannot deny if you've been there. But a few years after I was there, in fact, there was a board that said, the seva of this place is about to be done. So I felt blessed that I'm there, and I was actually able to feel what I felt in that physical space. You don't have to be in a physical space. Just because you missed that doesn't mean that you missed the boat, because you have Gurbani, and I also have Gurbani. That's our connection. And Gurbani is the connection for everyone. So the purposeful being, param nal jineya, param is misapprehension, misunderstanding. That shows up in this part, because this whole thing is about misapprehension. Fundamental param vichon ji rahe hain. What is the fundamental misunderstanding? Is that I am someone different from everything else. That's the fundamental param. That's the kach as opposed to sach. And in Gurbani, that's the distinction, is sach and kach. Right? As you understand, kacha, kedi cheez kachi hai, jehdi puri nahi hai. Right? And who is not pura? Most of us who think we are something are not pura. We are broken, fractured, and Gurbani calls that dal. Ab kyun ho gaya dal? A seed that is split will not grow. Only a seed that is full, complete, whole, that will grow. Yeah.
I'm stuck up at one thing.
Yeah.
From the beginning, I'm not able to connect. I'm stuck up at एक ओंकार.
Yes.
What that really, in your words, what you explained was not clear to me. फिर आप किस समझिया? What is the relationship between us and what? ये दो चीज़ों में बिल्कुल disconnect आ रही है. मैं थोड़ा connect नहीं हो पा रही, उससे अटक गई.
It's okay. It's okay. Actually, that's the fundamental disconnect. That's the thing that we are all suffering with in our entire life. Because unless that is not just clear up here, but in my bones, I have to feel it, I have to live it, I have to see it. And that is that there is only one.
आपने सानू बनाया है आस से भी रब. This is what you want to say.
No. Oh yeah, it comes out of us. Because ik, the one, for it to experience, how will it experience? Because there is nothing. Even the one has no form. It has no shape, it has no color, there is nothing. Because all these words, all these concepts are based in relation. All colors are from the possibility of oneness. You know, the rainbow, all of that is the splitting of light and shadow. And light and shadow only exist if there is something. Yes, the one has to create itself. The one has to manifest itself in order to experience. And that's the only way the game is played. Because otherwise there is no game.
नीला ही
Sorry?
नीला जो आस के नाम created. It's more like a नीला experience.
Yeah, it's the experience of one. And that experience is what this entire manifestation is. And it doesn't happen once. It's cycle. It just goes on and on and on. There's no end. No, not honi chahidi hai. Because honi chahidi is the domain of religion. Religion is not reality. Religion is compliance. Religion is control. We come in here, do these things, don't do these things. That's not reality. That's control. There is only one. So if there is only one, who am I and who are you? Why would I ever even think of hurting you? What are the reasons why I would think of hurting you? At the fundamental level.
You think she is not the one that you do not?
Yeah, we are separate. And the biggest thing is that there is fear. Who has the fear? I have the fear. If I'm hurting you, it's because I am fearful. A lot of times we think the people who commit a lot of crimes in this world are powerful. They are not powerful. They are the weakest possible people there could be because they have fear for themselves. And they think that in order to be something, they must have control over what they think is the other. There is no strength. Only a weak-minded person would want to control or hurt others. Because strength, what is strength? By the way, strength and weakness, these are just words. Strength is whole. And not being whole is weakness. It's being broken. It can't grow. Ab kyun ug paida? Right? The seed will not grow. It will not germinate. So if you think about it from the fundamental level, actually all of life is within the mool, which is ik oankar sat naam karta purak nirpao nirvair akal murat ajuni sahapam. And this gets to us via Guru Prasad. Because this Sach is the prasad that I get, and I'm able to live my life if I'm following the Gur. The Gur is the technique. And what is the technique? Technique is to come from oneness. There is nothing else. It's only one. To know, to see, to feel, to love from that. And by the way, that's the only love. Everything else is fake. Everything else is control. Everything else is sickness that I want. A lot of you are here for the first time, and thank you for being here. I don't want to throw a lot of controversy, but we can talk at a different time. What are the implications of even the idea of love? We can understand everything from one. And the sickness also you can understand because of oneness, that it doesn't align with oneness. So the worst people in the world also want one. They want one. They want oneness. Everything there is wants oneness. How do we know that? There are people who've tried to destroy entire communities, right? Why would you want to destroy communities? Because in their mind, if they were to kill everyone that is not like them, then what's left? Them, which is one. Everything wants to be one, but depends on where they are sourced. What are they connected with? Unada mool ki hai. Everything depends upon that. If I'm guided by, we value the word guru a lot, but we don't understand the word guru. In Gurbani it says, And Guru Janakera. These people are living wayward lives. That means guru is not on its own sat. It's actually depends upon where it's connected with. It could be connected to blindness. I can't see reality, but that's what I am spouting. So what does that do? Jeda us to sikhya lega, the one connected to and is guided by that wisdom is also going to be blind, because the guru is blind. So when we read it, these words are powerful and they can enlighten us, but they can enlighten us about our own self. This is not a religion. Gurbani is not a religion to be followed. We're not going to get a lollipop at the end because we followed all the things, the check marks for the religion. That will make no difference. Because there were too many religions before it and there will be too many after this. It's not about religion. It's about what is. This is about such. And to be true, to live authentically, and to produce, to have that as that comes from the connection of wholeness. The as is about wholeness, or it is the dal. It's broken. It will give us everything. So at a fundamental level, if you ever have anything, a concern in your mind, ਮਨ ਵਿੱਚ ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਕੋਈ ਵੀ ਖਿਆਲ ਆ ਕਿ ਵੀ ਆਹ ਪ੍ਰੋਬਲਮ ਹੈ ਕਿਉਂ, ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਉਹਦੇ ਸੋਰਸ ਤੇ ਉਹਦੇ ਮੂਲ ਤੇ ਜਾਣਾ ਪਏਗਾ ਤੇ ਉੱਥੇ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਪਤਾ ਲੱਗ ਜੂਗਾ ਕਿ ਵੀ ਗੱਲ ਸ਼ੁਰੂ ਤੋਂ ਹੀ ਮੈਂ ਟੁੱਟਿਆ ਹੋਇਆ ਸੀ, ਮੇਰਾ ਖਿਆਲ ਹੀ ਟੁੱਟਿਆ ਹੋਇਆ ਸੀ, ਮੈਂ ਗਲਤ ਚੀਜ਼ ਨਾਲ ਜੁੜ ਗਿਆ ਸੀ। ਕਿਉਂਕਿ ਜੇ ਇੱਕ ਨਾਲ ਜੁੜੂੰਗਾ ਤੇ ਕਦੇ ਕਿਸੇ ਨੂੰ ਹਰਟ ਕਰਨ ਦੀ ਗੱਲ ਆਏਗੀ ਨਹੀਂ ਅੱਗੇ, ਕਿਉਂਕਿ ਉਹ ਸਿਰਫ ਦੂਜੇ ਨਾਲ ਆ ਸਕਦੀ ਹੈ, ਆਪਣੇ ਨਾਲ ਕਦੇ ਨਹੀਂ ਆ ਸਕਦੀ। ਤੇ ਕਈ ਵਾਰ ਅਸੀਂ ਆਪਣੇ ਫੈਮਲੀਆਂ ਨੂੰ ਮਿਸਟਰੀਟ ਕਰਦੇ ਹਾਂ ਤੇ ਕੀ ਲੱਗਦਾ ਹੈਗਾ ਉਹ ਤਾਂ ਫੈਮਲੀ ਉਹ ਤਾਂ ਆਪਣੀ ਹੈ, ਬਟ ਨਹੀਂ, ਜਦੋਂ ਮਿਸਟਰੀਟ ਕਰ ਰਿਹਾ ਤਾਂ ਆਪਣੀ ਥੋੜ੍ਹੀ ਆ, ਫਿਰ ਤਾਂ ਕੋਈ ਹੋਰ ਹੈ। ਉਹਨੂੰ ਵੀ ਲਾਈਨ 'ਚ ਲਿਆਉਣਾ ਪਊਗਾ ਤਾਂ ਇੱਕ ਹੋਊਗਾ, ਨਹੀਂ ਤਾਂ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੈ। ਕਿੰਨੀ ਦੇਖੋ ਸਾਰੀ ਲਾਈਫ ਇਹਦੇ 'ਚ ਪਈ ਹੈਗੀ ਹੈ, ਸਾਰਾ ਕੁਝ ਇੱਕ 'ਚੋਂ ਹੈ। ਸੋ ਇਹ ਉਹਦੀ ਗੱਲ ਆ, ਡਿਜ਼ਾਇਰ ਆ। ਨਾਓ ਦੇਰ ਇਜ਼ ਅ ਪਰਪਸ which is also called dharam. This is for dharam. So purposeful being, and dharam and religion are not the same. They're very different. Third one is about the weight of the body. All of us think that we are this. Somebody says, how are you? What's your name? What are they doing? They're looking at the body. They're judging us based on what we are wearing, what language we're speaking. Do we have an accent? That will tell us something about somebody. Then we'll say, "Tusi hage kithon? Where are you from?" Why are they asking? Because they want to put you, because they don't know you, they want to put you in a box. Because ਇੱਥੋਂ ਦੇ ਲੋਕ ਇੱਦਾਂ ਹੁੰਦੇ ਆ, ਇਹ ਕੰਮ ਕਰਦੇ ਹੋ। Do I even want to talk to you, waste my time if you don't do what I think is something that would get me? You're not up to my level, or not up to the level that I want to get to, so do I even want to talk to the person? Everything about me, even trying to meet somebody, is not about meeting anybody. It's about what I can get, unless I'm being real. And then I will actually meet someone. In Gurbani, there's a word, darshan. Many times people, I will meet, darshan, right? People will say, ਵੀ ਹੁਣ ਤਾਂ ਬਹੁਤ ਵਧੀਆ ਹੋ ਗਿਆ, ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਦਰਸ਼ਨ ਹੋ ਗਏ, and ਕੋਈ ਦਰਸ਼ਨ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੋਏ। People think that looking at someone and shaking hands is darshan. That's nothing. That's just a physical, it's just sight. I don't see reality. ਸੱਚਾਈ ਤੇ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਨਜ਼ਰ ਆਉਂਦੀ ਨਹੀਂ, ਤੇ ਸੱਚਾਈ ਤੁਹਾਡੀ ਕੀ ਆ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਥੋੜ੍ਹੀ ਪਤਾ, ਕਿਉਂਕਿ ਹੋ ਸਕਦਾ ਹੈ ਤੁਹਾਡਾ ਅੱਜ ਦਿਨ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਹੈਗਾ ਉਹ ਕਿੰਨੀਆਂ ਖੁਸ਼ੀਆਂ 'ਚ ਨਿਕਲਿਆ ਹੋਵੇ, ਮੈਨੂੰ ਤਾਂ ਪਤਾ ਹੀ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੈ। ਜਦ ਤੱਕ ਮੈਂ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਮਿਲੂੰਗਾ ਨਹੀਂ ਅੱਜ ਹੁਣੇ, ਤੇ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਕੁਝ ਵੀ ਨਹੀਂ ਪਤਾ ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਬਾਰੇ। ਮੈਨੂੰ ਤਾਂ ਸਿਰਫ ਆਹੀ ਪਤਾ ਕਿ ਪਹਿਲਾਂ ਕੀ ਸੀਗਾ। I think I know you. I don't know the trouble that you have gone through. I'm not even here for you if I don't know where you are. So I'm not meeting you. I think I know you. And people think seeing a body means darshan. Gurbani, the darshan is not that darshan. Darshanik also means philosophy, which is a deeper self. So darshan is deeper than that. It's to get to really be with someone. Where are they? What are their needs? Can I be of help? Or am I just looking at a body and chalking something up that I got something? So there are deeper aspects to everything. And this is about not getting weighed down by body. ਸਾਡੀ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਸਰੀਰ ਦੀਆਂ ਜ਼ਰੂਰਤਾਂ ਨੇ, ਕਈ ਸਾਡੀਆਂ ਡਿਪੈਂਡੈਂਸੀਜ਼ ਨੇ ਸਰੀਰ ਦੀਆਂ. Some of them are अपनी कीतियां गलतियां करके, but there are many that are coming back ਬੜੀਆਂ ਪਿੱਛੋਂ। ਕਈ ਫੈਮਲੀਜ਼ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਜਿਨ੍ਹਾਂ ਵਿੱਚ ਟਰਾਮਾ ਹੋਇਆ ਹੁੰਦਾ ਹੈ, ਉਹ ਪੈਸ ਆਨ ਹੁੰਦੀਆਂ ਨੇ ਬੱਚਿਆਂ ਨੂੰ। ਹੁਣ ਉਹ ਵੀ ਹੈਗਾ, ਐਂਡ ਸਿਰਫ ਉਹਦੀ ਗੱਲ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੈ। ਵਾਈ ਡੂ humans and animals each react in a certain way when they feel threatened? Nobody has to teach us, right? People don't have to teach you that there's a vehicle coming at you, get out of the way. Actually, humans are the slowest ones. Animals get it much quicker. But there are many things in life we don't have to be told, we just know. Because self-preservation is at the heart of everything. Everything wants to save itself. Because the only way it'll play the game is if it's alive. Otherwise, it can't play the game. Right? So I'm not saying that there's anything wrong with people trying to protect themselves. Problem is that most of us live in a way that we are being attacked and there is no attack. Most of us living in 2026 of the Christian era are living like we are being attacked all the time. People are upset all day. Why? Because they're spending their time reading comments, reading things, which are also not real. They're said by people who are hiding behind a different identity, and they don't care how it impacts other people. So all of this is happening up here at an emotional and a psychological level. And that's also why we don't learn. We don't learn from our own mistakes, and we don't learn to read the signs. And Gurbani is teaching us how to read the signs. And when we read it, then we will understand that there are some things that are happening to my body. They don't have to be real. The body will feel it. And the body feels it very quickly. Body ਤੇ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਅਸਰ ਪੈਂਦਾ ਹੈ, ਉਹ ਬਹੁਤ ਛੇਤੀ ਪੈਂਦਾ ਹੈ, ਕਿਉਂਕਿ ਇਹਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਯਾਦ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਹੈ ਮਿਲੀਅਨ ਸਾਲਾਂ ਦੀ ਪੁਰਾਣੀ ਹੈ। ਜਦੋਂ ਅਸੀਂ ਜਾਨਵਰਾਂ ਦੇ ਥਰੂ ਹੁੰਦੇ ਆਏ ਹਾਂ ਨਾ ਅੱਜ ਤੱਕ, ਸਾਰੀ ਯਾਦ ਹੈਗੀ ਹੈ ਹਰ ਸੈੱਲ ਵਿੱਚ। ਇਸ ਕਰਕੇ ਉਹ ਇੱਕਦਮ ਫੀਲ ਹੁੰਦੀ ਹੈ। That does not have to be reality. And that's where the brain comes in. And that's where all the faculties come in that can help me learn how I can live. ਵੀ ਸਾਰੀ ਸਫਰਿੰਗ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਹੈ ਜ਼ਰੂਰੀ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੈ। ਹੁਣ ਕਈ ਵਾਰੀ ਨਾ I'm going to say this in Punjabi, I'll repeat it in English. ਕਈ ਲੋਕੀ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਆ ਵੀ ਕਿ ਇਹ ਗੱਲਾਂ ਲੇਕਿਨ ਨਾ ਸਮਝਣ ਨੂੰ ਬੜਾ ਔਖਾ ਹੈਗਾ ਜੀ, ਜਨਮ ਲੱਗ ਜਾਂਦੇ ਨੇ। ਤੁਸੀਂ ਇਹਦੇ ਬਾਰੇ ਸੋਚਿਆ ਕਦੇ? ਜਨਮ ਲੱਗ ਜਾਂਦੇ ਨੇ, ਕਿੰਨੀ ਫਨੀ ਸੁਜੈਸਸ਼ਨ ਹੈ। ਜੇ ਕਿਸੇ ਨੇ ਕੰਮ ਕਰਨਾ ਹੋਏ ਨਾ, ਤਾਂ ਕਦੇ ਨਹੀਂ ਕਹਿੰਦਾ ਜਨਮ ਲੱਗ ਜਾਂਦੇ ਆ। ਜਿਹੜਾ ਕੰਮ ਕਰਨਾ ਹੁੰਦਾ ਉਹ ਤਾਂ ਹੁਣੇ ਹੋਊਗਾ। ਐ ਨਹੀਂ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਜੀ ਮੇਰੇ ਘਰ 'ਚ ਆ ਟੁੱਟਿਆ ਹੋਇਆ ਸੀਗਾ, ਉਹ ਆ ਕੇ ਕਵੇ ਕਈ ਜੀ ਜਨਮ ਲੱਗ ਜਾਂਦੇ ਨੇ ਫਿਕਸ ਕਰਨ ਨੂੰ। That we will not accept. The things I need or I think I need, I will not accept the answer ਕਿ ਨਹੀਂ ਜੀ ਆ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੋ ਸਕਦਾ। ਪਰ ਜਿਹੜੀਆਂ ਚੀਜ਼ਾਂ ਮੇਰੇ ਜੀਵਨ ਦਾਅ 'ਤੇ ਲੱਗਿਆ ਹੋਇਆ, ਉੱਥੇ ਮੈਂ ਕਹਾਂਗਾ ਜੀ ਜਨਮ ਲੱਗ ਜਾਂਦੇ ਨੇ ਜੀ, ਕੀ ਸਮਝਣਾ। ਇਹ ਤਾਂ ਵੱਡੇ ਨਾਨਕ ਵਰਗੇ ਸਮਝਦੇ ਨੇ। ਨਾਨਕ ਨੂੰ ਪੁੱਛ ਲਓ, ਨਾਨਕ ਤੋਂ ਕੁਝ ਸਾਲ ਬਾਅਦ ਹੀ we got Guru Amar Ji, Guru Amar Das. He came on the path at 62 years old. If we think it's too late, it's not too late. A 62-year-old came and on the path became such as to operate from the level of Satguru. That's a 62-year-old. And we also have children. So none of us have an excuse. None of us have an excuse, because any one of us can live in that state if we give up my false sense of self, my attachment and definition through the body, and say that I am limited, because I have no clue what my limitations are. I will only know what the limitations are. Limits are found by pushing them. That's the only way. So if you are a Porsche, a brand new Porsche, please don't pretend to be a 1910 Ford, because we don't know. We don't know what we're capable of. And apine aap sajyo te chaah naal hona hai. This whole thing is with feeling and zest and purpose and beauty. Now, That's what's available to us if we apprehend the truth. ਜੇ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਸੱਚ ਪੱਲੇ ਪੈ ਜਾਵੇ, ਸੱਚ ਨਜ਼ਰ ਆਉਣਾ ਸ਼ੁਰੂ ਹੋ ਜਾਵੇ, that's the first 4 ਪੌੜੀਆਂ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਇਹ ਦੱਸ ਰਹੀਆਂ ਨੇ that this is what's possible, why we are stuck, and how we can find a way out. Today we were going to go into the 5th one. I'm not going to go through all this. This is all on the website, so you guys can look at it. Obviously, it seems busy. So the 5th body. So the 5th one says, "Now tera nirankar hai, nae laya, narg na jaiye. Jio pind sab tisda, dekh haja aakh gavaiye. Je loda changa apna." And I want you to pay attention. We've talked about this multiple weeks. That when you hear J, even if it may not say te, it's a conditional. Sometimes we think like everything is there for free. It's not for free. We will have to choose. And when we choose, that also means that what you choose is what you commit to. That means other things, they disappear. You don't have to sit there and think about, oh my God, I'm missing out. Because that's the life of most of us living through these things. It's missing out. It's not about missing out, because it's about ਚਾਓ. ਜੇ ਮੈਂ ਚਾਹ ਨਾਲ ਜੁੜਿਆ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਚੀਜ਼ ਨਾਲ, ਫਿਰ ਉਹੀ ਹੈ, ਹੋਰ ਕੁਝ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੈ. ਫਿਰ I don't need to sit and worry about ਕਿ ਕਿਹੜੀ ਚੀਜ਼ ਨਹੀਂ ਕਰ ਰਿਹਾ, ਕਿਹੜੀ ਚੀਜ਼ ਨਾਲ ਮੈਂ ਨਹੀਂ ਜੁੜਿਆ. Because the thing ਜਿਹਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਨਹੀਂ ਜੁੜਿਆ, ਉਹਦੀ ਵੈਲਿਊ ਕੀ ਸੀਗੀ? ਕਿਉਂਕਿ that's why I was with this. So be careful. ਜੇ ਲੋੜ ਹੈ ਚੰਗਾ ਆਪਣਾ, ਕਰੀ ਪੁੰਨਹੁ ਨੀਚ ਸਦਾਈ ਹੈ. ਜੇ ਜਰਵਾਣਾ ਪਰ ਹਰੈ, ਜਰਵੇਸ ਕਰੇਂਦੀ ਆਈ ਹੈ, ਕੋ ਰਹਿ ਨਾ ਭਰੀਐ ਪਾਈਐ. This is the Paurhi. And the entire Asa Ki Var is Paurhi by Paurhi. That's how it was first brought into being. So this was the first 4, and we've already talked about this. Now the 5th one. And what we do here, because ਕਈ ਬੰਦੇ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਹੈਗੇ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਅੰਗਰੇਜ਼ੀ ਨਾਲ ਸਮਝ ਆਉਂਦੀ ਆ, ਸੋ ਕਾਫੀ ਪਹਿਲਾਂ ਅੰਗਰੇਜ਼ੀ 'ਚ ਹੈਗਾ, ਅਤੇ ਉਦੋਂ ਬਾਅਦ ਜਿਹੜੀਆਂ ਹੈਗੀਆਂ ਨੇ ਨਾ ਸਲਾਈਡਾਂ, ਉੱਥੇ ਫਿਰ ਗੁਰਬਾਣੀ ਗੁਰਮੁਖੀ 'ਚ ਹੈਗਾ ਅਤੇ ਨਾਲ ਇੰਗਲਿਸ਼ ਵਿੱਚ ਦੱਸਿਆ ਹੋਇਆ. ਸੋ ਦ 5th one tells us, ਜੇ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਕੰਡੀਸ਼ਨ ਦੀ ਗੱਲ ਆ ਰਹੀ ਹੈ, ਉਹ ਕਹਿ ਰਹੀ ਹੈ ਕਿ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਸਾਡੇ ਕਲੇਮ ਆ, that I am this, I am that, I can do this, whatever it is, whatever my claims are in the world that I give out my claims, they cannot help me be complete. ਉਹ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਪੂਰਾ ਨਹੀਂ ਕਰਨ ਦੇਣਗੇ, ਉਹ ਹੋਣ ਨਹੀਂ ਦੇਣਗੇ, ਕਿਉਂਕਿ ਉਹ ਕਲੇਮ ਹੈ. ਕਲੇਮ ਤੇ ਸੱਚਾਈ ਉਹ ਜ਼ਿਆਦਾਤਰ ਸੇਮ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੁੰਦੀ ਹੈ ਨਾ. ਕਲੇਮ ਜ਼ਿਆਦਾ ਵੱਡਾ ਹੁੰਦਾ, ਗੱਲਾਂ ਵੱਡੀਆਂ ਹੁੰਦੀਆਂ ਨੇ. ਸੋ what this also shows us is ਕਿ ਜੇ ਮੇਰਾ ਜ਼ਿਆਦਾ ਫੋਕਸ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਚੀਜ਼ਾਂ 'ਤੇ ਹੈ, ਅਤੇ ਉਹ ਦੱਸ ਰਿਹਾ ਕਿ ਇਨਕੰਪਲੀਟਨੈਸ ਵਿੱਚੋਂ ਆ, ਕੋਈ ਹੋਲ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਹੈਗਾ ਪੂਰਾ ਕਰਨ ਦੀ ਕੋਸ਼ਿਸ਼ ਕਰ ਰਹੇ ਹਾਂ. ਮੈਨੀ ਟਾਈਮਸ ਪੀਪਲ ਡੂ ਦੈਟ ਦੁਨੀਆ ਵਿੱਚ ਚੀਜ਼ਾਂ 'ਚ. We go after things. I want a car, I want a bigger home, I want a promotion, I want this, I want my children to be like this. By the way, the children are also living the same life that I got, and everyone else who got it. They're also free. That's a very hard lesson in life. I struggle with it myself. You know, the children are not being this way. That's a reflection on me. So sometimes it will bring a lot of frustration and anger. But why is that anger there? They're free. They also get to choose. They don't need to be a clone of me. By the way, Guru Nanak had 2 sons. Neither of them were on his path. One of them directly contradicted his path. That also tells us something. So we can sit here and judge Guru Nanak. Was he a good father? Was he a good Sikh father because the children got to be Sikhs? No, everyone has freedom. Every one of the one. All the ones are of the one. Karyasan ditto chao data karta aap tu. Tusi deva kare pasa. So there is choice for everyone. So a lot of what we are dealing with, this Paurhi starts with, it exposes a condition and it asks us a question. That once our way of seeing, which is diseased, which is not helping us in life, that's exposed. What does the self try to do? Then what? Because what we were talking about, now each of us are probably looking within as to what am I engaged in life? ਕਿ ਮੈਂ ਕਿੱਥੇ ਕਿੱਥੇ ਆ ਚੀਜ਼ਾਂ ਕਰ ਰਿਹਾ, ਸਾਰਿਆਂ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਚੱਲ ਰਿਹਾ ਨਾ, ਤਾਂ ਹੁਣ ਫਿਰ ਕੋਈ ਇਹਦੇ ਬਾਰੇ ਗੱਲ ਕਰ ਰਹੀ ਆ ਕਿ ਹੁਣ ਕੀ ਅੱਗੇ ਹੋਊਗਾ. So immediate reaction ਅੰਦਰੋਂ ਹੋਏਗਾ, I gotta fix it. I figured out what's wrong, I'm gonna fix this. And what will it do? It will do certain things. Oh, what do people say I need to be doing? That's the religion, by the way. That's every religion. They want to sell fear. You'll be in trouble unless you do these 53 things. Wake up and say these words, whatever. The saying the words is not going to make a difference. But the words and the wisdom behind them, that's what I need to engage with. And that wisdom has to become my life. There can be nothing more important than that. But the problem is that most people don't know what the words mean. So if I don't even know what the words mean, what difference does it make if I have the truth? Some people have asked, like, so what is the answer? Me telling you the answer means nothing. In fact, it will do you harm. Because it's for you to get the answer. I might talk around it so you get it for yourself. Because when you get it, it's yours. You got it. I can give you what I have known, experienced. That won't mean anything for you. In fact, now the words which you could have earned and you would have had something incredibly valuable in your own life, now those words get in the way. It may not make sense, but it's the truth of life. So it'll try to do it through gain, through success, identity, effort. Right? This is our domain. Because we want to work hard. We don't want to be lazy, industrious, especially in this country, the Protestant work ethic. It's all about work, 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 work. That's why Americans work more than anybody else. Right? I won't go into the other aspects of it. So this is not the next topic, Jadi Paurhi 5th. This is about understanding कि सच नाल मैं जुड़ क्यों नहीं पा रहा, सच पछाण क्यों नहीं हो रही जींदे हुए. क्योंकि ਜਿਹੜਾ false self है, false self ਕੀ ਹੈ, ਜਿਹੜੀ ਮੇਰੀ ਆਇਡੈਂਟੀ ਹੈ, ਜਿਹੜਾ ਮੈਂ ਕਹਿੰਦਾ ਕਿ ਮੇਰਾ ਨਾਮ ਇਹ ਆ, this is my name, this is who I am, this is my family, all of these definitions are defining myself through what is not real. And Gurbani which what is real is Sach. And Sach is one. Actually, it's kind of funny. Whenever I've led sessions for the last 20, 30 years, the questions that I've asked a lot, no adults in the room want to ever answer. Because you don't want to be wrong. But the children learned after many iterations that most of the questions that I was asking, they were gimmies. The answer was one. The children got that. And after a while, they're like, oh, one. But the parents are sitting there like, pata nahi ki hona, answer kinna essay likhna pehna. Bada sokha hai. Actually, if we start getting reality, it's very simple. Life makes it complicated because we're up here. We think this is life. This is not life. This is just spinning a web. Apne man de vich. So this begins is that claims cannot complete. That's the whole second unit, by the way. And the second unit goes from the 5th Paurhi all the way to the 10th. That doesn't mean that all of it is going to be depressing. It's not about you can't be complete, your gains and this and that. No, we're going to find cycles within that. But those cycles, what they do is they help us open up. It's like layers of an onion. It's peeling our own layers that I cannot see because I've got all these layers. And I got to remove those layers so I can see. So this is the themes. We've already talked about them. So now तेरा निरंकार है. Now is naam. Naam is tera nirankar. Nirankar is what? Like nirpau, nirvair. What is nirankar? Yeah. Without, it's formless. Without form. But what is that one? Now the being is formless. Tera nirankar hai. Nae leye nark na jaiye. It is that it's my potential. Because that's what all of us are. We're potential. We're not anything. None of us are anything. We think we are. Because when we're growing up, our parents say, good boy, good girl. So we want to be good boys and good girls. We don't want to be the bad boys or the bad girls. But all that means nothing. It's really about who am I? And who I am is I am potential. And every one of us is potential. And that potential gets realized. The potential gets manifested. What is realized? As in, like, I have a thought, I have a feeling, I need to manifest that. And those are the words that are coming out of my mouth. Now, where are those words coming from? What are they connected with? What happens out here in the world is phenomena. O kacha. It's not real. But what it's connected with, deeper, that's real. That's the naam. That's the noumena. The noumena. ਉਹ ਨਜ਼ਰ ਨਹੀਂ ਆਉਂਦਾ, ਉਹ ਦੇਖਿਆ ਨਹੀਂ ਜਾ ਸਕਦਾ, ਪਰ ਅਸਲ ਵਿੱਚ ਉੱਥੋਂ ਹੋ ਰਿਹਾ ਕੰਮ. ਜੋ ਨਜ਼ਰ ਆਉਂਦਾ ਇਹ ਤਾਂ ਐਜ਼ ਵੀ ਸੇ ਗੁਰਬਾਣੀ ਸੇਜ਼ ਇਹ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਦ੍ਰਿਸ਼ਟਮਾਨ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਹੈਗਾ ਸਭ ਕੁਝ ਚੱਲਦਾ ਪਿਆ ਐਜ਼ ਇਨ ਐਵਰੀਥਿੰਗ ਇਜ਼ ਮੂਵਿੰਗ. It's entropy. It will break down. Right? That's how it functions. Manifestation functions like that. Because the only thing that is there forever, beyond time, is the one. So nothing is outside the one. And yet the self turns the expression into claim. Let's say right now, I am speaking out of love. And now I leave here and take the idea ਤੇ ਮੈਂ ਤਾਂ ਫਿਰ ਬੜਾ ਵਧੀਆ ਹੋਊਂਗਾ ਕਿਉਂਕਿ ਮੈਂ ਇੱਥੇ ਐਡੀ ਦੇਰ ਬਹਿ ਕੇ ਗੱਲ ਕੀਤੀ ਹੈ, ਸਾਰੀਆਂ ਪਿਆਰ ਦੀ ਗੱਲਾਂ ਹੋਈ ਸੀਗੀਆਂ ਤੇ ਘਰੋਂ ਹੁਣੇ ਨਿਕਲ ਕੇ ਗੱਡੀ ਜਾ ਰਹੀ ਹੈ ਬਾਹਰ, ਕਿਸੇ ਨੇ ਕੱਟ ਆਫ ਕੀਤੀ ਤੇ ਉਸੇ ਵੇਲੇ ਹੀ ਰਾਈਟ ਚੋਇਸ ਵਰਡ ਸਟਾਰਟ ਕਮਿੰਗ ਆਊਟ ਤੇ ਫਿਰ ਉਹ ਕਿੱਥੋਂ ਆ ਗਏ? ਜੇ ਸਪੇਸ, ਕਿਉਂਕਿ ਸਾਫ਼ ਜਗ੍ਹਾ ਤੋਂ ਸਾਫ਼ ਚੀਜ਼ ਆਊਗੀ. ਸੋ ਆਪਣੇ ਆਪ ਨੂੰ ਆਪਣੇ claims, thinking that I am this and I am that because I was behaving a certain way, does it mean that that has been cleaned? And that's what in Gurbani at the end, Mundavani Mehla Panchma, it says, Thal vich tini vastu payu. Sat, Santokh, Vicharo. Thal vich hai ki. What is the thal? And I don't mean like the word thal. What is thal referring to? Body the real hai nahi.
I mean, when you connect with in that plane.
Yeah. So in that plane, Gurbani is mostly talking about man. And man is not the brain, right? The brain is part of it. But our feelings are also part of it. Our imagination is part of it. Brain is a definite part of it. But we are not physical beings. So we are a lot more than that. We are a possibility. So ਗੱਲ ਇਹ ਹੈ ਕਿ ਵੀ ਹੁਣ ਜਦੋਂ ਇਹ ਚੀਜ਼ਾਂ ਚੱਲ ਰਹੀਆਂ ਨੇ ਉਹ ਆ ਕਿੱਥੋਂ ਰਹੀਆਂ ਨੇ ਤੇ ਥਾਲ ਵਿੱਚ ਕੀ ਪਿਆ ਹੋਇਆ. ਸੋ ਇਹ ਜਸਟ ਲਾਈਕ ਸ਼ੁਰੂ ਕੀਤੀ ਸੀ ਗੱਲ, ਉੱਥੇ ਸੀਗਾ ਭਾਂਡਾ ਧੋਏ. ਸੋ ਭਾਂਡਾ ਕਿਹੜਾ ਸੀਗਾ? ਥਾਲ ਹੀ ਸੀ. ਭਾਂਡਾ ਧੋਏ. ਹੁਣ ਥਾਲ ਨੂੰ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਕਹਿ ਦਿਓ ਕਿ ਜੀ this was a vessel in which one puts milk to make what? ਦਹੀਂ ਜਮਾਣਾ ਹੁੰਦਾ, right? Will you take any vessel and toss milk in there and start heating it? No, because you probably won't get dahi. Some of us may know what they're doing, some of us don't know what they're doing, and we've fat janda dudh. I don't know in English how would we say that? We just we spoiled. Sorry, it's split. It's split, kind of like the seed, by the way. Jada, thank you. So. because the panda was not clean, the vessel was unclean. So it corrupted what was possible. And what was possible? It's not just the dahi, because what is made from dahi? Kyo, right? Which is like a concentrated form. And these are like words that come up in Gurbani by proxy. It's gyan. ਜਦੋਂ ਪੱਕਾ ਹੋ ਜਾਂਦਾ ਹੈ ਤੇ ਫਿਰ ਗਿਆਨ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਕੁਝ ਦਿੰਦਾ ਹੈ ਉਹਦੀਆਂ ਵੀ levels ਨੇ. So these are the expressions that are coming, and which is also why ਭਾਂਡਾ ਧੋਏ ਬੈਸ ਧੂਪ ਦੇਵੋ. That's also very important. That is not just washing something, because ਮਨ ਧੋਵੋ, ਮਨ ਧੋਣਾ ਹੈ ਨਾ ਕਿਵੇਂ? Thoughts are part of it. Thoughts are part of it, but that's not necessarily what man is. Man is not just some, yeah. And Gurbani actually, Jap Bani tells us Kadiya Surte, Mat, Man, Buddh. Now Gurbani gives us multiple aspects. Buddh is Buddhi, which is intellect. That's the sharpness. And then later it also comes Bibek. Bibek is also to discern what is authentic from inauthentic. Khota ki hai, khalis ki hai. Right? All these words come together. And by the way, as we've talked about this before, khalis, we think that it's a name, it's a last name that people take on. That's not what it is. In Gurbani, the word khalse comes only once. And it says, Jan paye khalse prem bhagati jih jani. Only those that have experienced and operate out of love are the ones who experience and are experienced as in the state of khalas. Khalas is to be connected with what? With one. And that can only happen in love. It cannot happen in opposition. Because opposition requires an other. And there is no other. So fundamentally, there's a problem. So janpa ek haath se. So panda toye bas dhoop devo. And that's very important. Dhoop deni is important. Why? There's actually a saying in the world. Journalism uses this. It has to do with sunlight. And it comes from regular life. Have you heard? That sunlight is a great disinfectant. Right? So similarly, we clean clothes. We used to hang them out. They were better off that way. Now we have dryers. But ਚੀਜ਼ ਧੁੱਪ ਦੇਣੀ ਕਿਸੇ ਚੀਜ਼ ਨੂੰ, what does that have to do with life? Forget about the thing. The thing is just an example. What is it talking about? Sunlight is a great disinfectant. What does that refer to for our life? Yes, light is proxy for wisdom coming, because where light is, darkness isn't, so ignorance is not. But for our life, it has to do that most of us want to hide. Most of us never want to show our faults, our mistakes. We try to show our best because we are managing perception. Sorry? It dries up, it gets rid of what? It burns away. That's what the light does. The sunlight. Why is it a great disinfectant? Because it will burn away impurities. If there were light into my life, if there were a light, if I shine a light on your life, will that make you comfortable or uncomfortable? Think about that example. Uncomfortable. Because what would we say? Oh, when we shone the light upon this person, they were exposed. Someone was exposed as a fraud. Someone was exposed as a criminal. We are exposed. Nobody wants to be exposed. Even the ardas that they do, they'll say, "Sade parde kaj ke rakhi." Let me remain a fraud But let's put a parda around it. Please, don't expose me. Gurbani is saying, Panda toye bas tup devo ta dudha ko javo. Only then go for milk. Everyone here is running with milk, as though the panda is clean. But the panda is not clean. Clean hoke ਧੁੱਪ ਦੇਣੀ ਜ਼ਰੂਰੀ ਹੈ ਤਾਂ ਦੁੱਧੇ ਕੋ ਜਾਵੋ दूध ਫਿਰ ਉਹਦੇ 'ਚ ਸੁਰਤ ਸਮਾਇਣ ਹੋਏ ਨਿਰਾਸ ਜਮਾਵੋ ਫਿਰ ਨਿਰਾਸ ਹੋ ਕੇ ਜਮਾਵੋ then you don't need to worry. I'm not hoping ਕਿ ਜਮ ਜਾਏਗਾ ਜੇ ਸਾਰਾ ਕੁਝ ਕੀਤਾ if I've gone through all of it then I don't sit and need to pray that now the ਦੁੱਧ ਉਹ ਜੰਮੂਗਾ ਤੇ ਨਾਲ I'll get some yogurt out of that or I'll get some kyo out of that. Oh hoega. That's hukam. That's cause and effect. But I don't deal with reality. I'm dealing with hopes and prayers. Everybody says, oh, there's a war going on. There's a genocide going on. Let's all get together and pray. No, there's a genocide going on. Where do we stand? There's a lot of stuff happening in the world. If I care, then it's not through my prayers. It is through my intervention. Because who do you think is going to stop it? Nobody's going to fall out of the sky. This other God is not going to manifest someone to stop it. This is the manifestation. It's going to come here through someone. And that someone puts their life on the line. And then we sit here and we look at that person and we say, oh, what a hero. Oh, hero ਫਿਰ ਉਹਨੇ ਇੱਕ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੋਣਾ ਸੀਗਾ ਸਾਰਿਆਂ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਹੈਗੀ ਹੈ possibility of being that one. But not because I'm special, but it's because I feel the pain of other people. And I'm willing to not worry about what happens to this. I'm willing to go in there and help. Maybe it's to feed. Maybe it's to help their suffering, medication, whatever. But I'm involved. My praying is about somebody else doing something. What is praying? The prayer is actually in Gurbani, Ardas. Ardas is not standing here and asking someone for anything. Ardas is Das the Arz. Am I a servant? Am I a Das? And if I am a Das, then फिर अर्ज की है? And that arz is only of thanks. Because I've been given everything. What am I going to do? Sit here and complain? Everything has been given. Body, functioning mind, everything has been given. So if I'm in thanks, there's a lot that can be possible, but my claims are not going to make me whole. It's about life and being. Recognition may come, but that will not make a difference. Yeah.
So how is this body getting converted into claims? Because claims is like promising something like I will do this or that or
No, not necessarily. Claims could be like you did something,
you did.
right?
Doing something is claim that
Yes.
I will do this or I am doing this. This is claim.
Yes.
So how is this body getting converted into claim? Because I'm not able to connect the title claims cannot complete with this body. Because first line is now there are if we don't take
Yes.
now, then we will go to hell. Like all of them are then if and else condition. How is this a claim?
Okay. ਇਹ ਪੜੋ now ਤੇਰਾ ਨਿਰੰਕਾਰ ਹੈ ਨਿਰੰਕਾਰ we've already talked about that's the formless ਜਿਹਦਾ ਆਕਾਰ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੈ that's the infinite potential that's one ਠੀਕ ਆ ਜੀਓ ਪਿੰਡ ਸਭ ਤਿਸ ਦਾ ਤਿਸ ਕੌਣ ਹੈ ਗੁਰਬਾਣੀ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਤੂੰ ਕੌਣ ਹੈ ਗੁਰਬਾਣੀ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ yeah most of the time it's ਤੂੰ is always to the one the source right sometimes that source happens to be referring to ਕਿ ਤੂੰ ਕੀਤਾ ਕਿ ਨਹੀਂ ਕੀਤਾ right that ਤੂੰ is not to that one the ਵੱਡਾ it's the ਵੱਡਾ through me ਤੂੰ ਕਿੱਥੇ ਖੜਿਆ so the one expressed is ਜੀਓ ਪਿੰਡ ਸਭ ਤਿਸ ਦਾ ਦੇ ਖਾਜੈ ਆਖ ਗਵਾਈਐ ਦੇ ਖਾਜੈ what is this ਦੇ ਖਾਜੈ
I don't know what's
actually these are the efforts that I'm engaged in पर आँख के गवाई है, आँख के की गवावांगे, that's coming from the claims. ठीक है? Like thinking that I am this because I'm used to being a good boy or a smart boy or a this or a that, first in class, not last in class, or whatever, right? We're all very worried. Was my child like the top quartile? You know, what are we talking about here? We're always worried because my child defines who I am. And if they're not doing well, then who the heck am I? Then I must be a failure. So now I got to beat that child. In our culture, we did get beatings. You know, I got lots of them. So, yeah.
I got what you said, कि claims जे खा जाए, वो गवा रहे हैं जो भी ऐसे.
हाँ जी, आँख के गवाही है.
But the app meaning, it's so different that confused me. It's saying, "ऐ जिन ਅਤੇ शरीर सब कुछ प्रभु ਦਾ ਹੀ ਹੈ, ਉਹੀ ਜੀਵਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਖਾਣ ਵਾਸਤੇ ਭੋਜਨ ਦਿੰਦਾ ਹੈ, ਉਹ ਕਿੰਨਾ ਭੋਜਨ ਦਿੰਦਾ ਹੈ, ਇਹ ਅੰਦਾਜ਼ਾ ਲਾਉਣਾ ਵਿਅਰਥ ਹੈ." ਇਹ meaning ਲਿਖਿਆ, so that was not at all ਕਿ ਉਹ ਕੋਈ claim ਦੀ ਗੱਲ ਹੋ ਰਹੀ ਹੈ.
I can understand, but that's probably, it's better for me that I don't read those things. So I go to the source, and source ਵਿੱਚੋਂ, ਕਿਉਂਕਿ ਗੱਲ ਜਿੱਥੇ ਸ਼ੁਰੂ ਹੁੰਦੀ ਹੈ ਨਾ, ਇੱਕ ਤੋਂ ਸ਼ੁਰੂ ਹੋਈ ਹੈ, right? So ਸਾਰੀ ਮੂਲ ਤੋਂ ਸ਼ੁਰੂ ਹੋਈ ਹੈ, and ਫਿਰ ਹੁਣ ਆਪੀ ਨੇ ਆਪ ਸਾਜਿਓ, ਆਪੀ ਨੇ ਰਚਿਓ ਨਾਉ, ਹੁਣ ਪੰਜਵੀਂ ਪੌੜੀ ਤੇ ਪਹੁੰਚ ਗਏ ਹਾਂ. This is not talking about food. ਉਹ ਗੱਲ ਤਾਂ ਪਹਿਲੇ ਦੂਜੇ ਤੱਕ ਹੀ ਆ ਗਈ ਸੀ. ਸੋ ਗੱਲ ਇਹ ਹੈਗੀ ਹੈ ਕਿ ਇੱਥੇ ਮੇਰੀਆਂ ਪ੍ਰੋਬਲਮਸ ਕਿੱਥੇ ਸਸਟੇਨ ਹੋ ਰਹੀਆਂ ਨੇ. ਹਾਊ ਆਰ ਦੇ ਪਰਸਿਸਟਿੰਗ? ਇਟਸ ਬਿਕਾਜ਼ it has something to do with my being and my behavior and my interpretation of the world and how I'm reacting to the world. So देख आजा आँख के गवाही है, आँखें गवाही है, आँख के गवाही है, right? करी पुण्य हो नीच सदाई है. So who is this talking about? This is not talking, and actually this is the other thing. The interpretation that you read from the TK, they're making it about the one. But the one has no problem. This one has a problem. So if this one is going to solve the problem, why am I sitting here talking about that one? The problem is here. So kari punno, punya karke neech sadaiye. Success does not feed the identity. It's about the identity. Everything is about identity. Everything I do in the world, okay. Put this whole the most important aspect of life aside. Let's come to the world that we live in. If anybody says, why don't I just, actually this is the big thing about 6, right? People who leave society and go out into the mountains. We're not like them, we're not going to waste our life. Because we are asked to be here. Why? We're here. Why? Because I get to be better than them. Because they're just lazy, a waste of life people. We're not going to do that. We are told to be a part of this. And the people who are a part of this, what are we part of? We're part of Maya. Maya is what? That is temporary. My temporary needs. By the way, how temporary are the needs? What does a person need? Some clothing, shelter, food. Is there anything else that we need? No, the body doesn't need any more. Our entire life, is it about our needs? Because I don't need this shirt, I just need cloth. But there was a time that I bought these, they were $25, $20. Now I go to buy a pair of jeans and they're like $150. I can't even buy it. But the point is, do I need? No. It's perceived need, it's wants. Wants are synonymous with desire. That's my aas. Sari life is about what I want, not what I need. And we will sit here in a religious sphere and still be concerned about what I want, not what I need. Not what my child needs. Because I'm not providing that to them. I'm trying to get them the wants and put ਵੱਡੇ ਹੋ ਕੇ ਵੱਡੀ ਜੌਬ ਲੈਣੀ ਆ, ਵੱਡਾ ਬਿਜ਼ਨਸ ਸ਼ੁਰੂ ਕਰਨਾ, because that's why? Because we want more, not less. We want more and not less. Is that not true? In order to be one with the one, are we going to need more or less? Less. In fact, all this power of the body and of things, unless we are light of all of this, we can't be one. Because I am infinite potential, and I am weighing down the infinite potential with things, and then I think I am those things, and I'm not those things. Because if all of them go away, it makes no difference to my life, to my being. I'm still there. You could chop off my body, I'm still there. And I don't know if you've gone through the exercise, but I did at a young age. Like, what does this mean? What is left after all this is taken away? I'm still there. Even the body being gone is not me. Because na kich aibo, na kich jaibo, Ram ki duhai, Gurbani tells us. Nothing comes and nothing goes. This is a promise. This is a solemn oath that this Bhagat is taking. This is a testimony. But we pray, oh, this person that has died, please listen to me and give him or her or them place at your feet. That's our prayer, which is not even reality, because nothing comes and nothing goes. So what are we talking about? What are we asking for? And from whom? If there is a person on the other side listening to that call, they're like, this person has no clue what the heck they're talking about. What are they asking about? That's not even real. It's like I make up a problem and I'm all emotional about it and I create an act and make a movie out of that and I'm watching it and everybody thinks, oh, that's pretty good acting. Right?
So what exactly happens when someone dies? Like,
But does someone die?
yeah, that's
What dies?
Body.
just the body.
And even that doesn't die. Nothing comes and nothing goes. Most people who call themselves this community, generally burn the body. So what is the body? Body is just an accumulation of cells and other matter. Is it gone? It doesn't go. And how does it go? You're literally heating it, right? And all that's doing is dispersing the matter. Where did it go? It didn't go anywhere. It's still here. And the people who put it in a coffin and put it in the ground, all that happens is also a breakdown. It's going back into what was already here. So where did it come from? It went exactly where it came from. Nothing went anywhere. The only thing that is not associated with that now is the consciousness, which is the important aspect. And what is the consciousness? Gurbani's word for it. It's Atam. Atam.
Soul brides, we repeatedly read like soul brides. We are all soul brides.
I don't know. These are words that people
And
will,
Lord
yeah.
is the husband. That's what is written every time when we read Kirtan.
These are all allegories. These are all allegories about husband and wives, because what is the relationship between husbands and wives? It talks about separation, love, and union. Right? Lal rang. Kisko lag gaya? Jiske vada paga. Right? Oi judegi. And who are the various atam around me? Most of us happen to be atma, not atam. ਪੁੱਛਦੇ ਆ ਨਾ ਸਹੇਲੀਆਂ ਕਿਵੇਂ ਕੰਤ ਨੂੰ ਮਿਲੀ ਹੈ? That's because I don't know, but I want to know. ਤੂੰ ਮਿਲੀ ਹੈ ਕੰਤ ਨੂੰ, ਕਿਵੇਂ ਮਿਲੀ ਸੀ? But these also, by the way, compare them with the references to Krishna and Gopiyan. So what are the Krishna and who's Krishna and what's the Gopiyan? We got to think about these things. It's not saying that there was a Krishna and ਉਹ ਗਊਆਂ ਚਾਰਦਾ ਸੀਗਾ ਤੇ ਉੱਥੇ ਗੋਪੀਆਂ ਸੀਗੀਆਂ ਤੇ ਬ੍ਰਿੰਦਾਵਨ ਮੇ ਰੰਗ ਗਿਆ ਐਸਾ ਕੀ ਵਾਰ 'ਚ ਹੀ ਹੈ right? So gopiyan are the directions that the man goes in. And who is the man? Man is the Krishna. Krishna, the way that Krishna is described, what color is Krishna? Sorry? Well, dark. Dark because uste maya di kalak chadi pai hai. That's Krishna. And that's the gopiyan. Jithe rang kar rahe hai, it's playing around with them. It's not dealing with what's there, what's reality. It's lost in these games. We have to understand how to interpret Gurbani. It's not about stories. There's deeper truths within the stories. And a lot of people who bow down to the idea of Krishna don't realize that. And that's what Gurbani is talking, Brahm Gyan. लोग कहते हैं गीत है, ये तो ब्रह्म विचार. This is not a song. Just because it's in a rag doesn't mean कि सारे बस ढोलकियां कुट्टी जाओ ते गाई जाओ. ਉਹਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਗਿਆਨ ਹੈ, ਉਹਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਬ੍ਰਹਮ ਵਿਚਾਰ ਹੈ, ਬ੍ਰਹਮ ਵਿਚਾਰ ਹੈ ਜੁੜਨਾ ਹੈ. And that's what is going to give us life. ਜੇ ਜਰਵਾਣਾ ਪਰ ਹਰੈ, ਜਰ ਕੀ ਹੁੰਦਾ? ਬੁਢਾਪਾ. Right? It ravages each of us. The body is going to get ravaged. But who I am is not going to make a difference because that's beyond time. That's akal. That is present, always present. Jarves Karendi आई है. Jarves Karendi आई है कि it will wear down those who think they are all of it. They think they're special. They think they're this and that. The haughty. It will wear down everyone. Time will compel. If I pretend, I can only pretend for so long until I'm exposed. So Gurbani is not asking us to be good at hiding. Gurbani is asking us to be real. To don't pretend. To fix it, to expose it, so the light falls. Man de vich. And ta address hoega. Ta dudai ko jayo. And ko raha na pariya paiya. Na pariya paiya is it is found incomplete. Pariya hoya nahi siga. Na pariya paiya. Ko raha as in all my claims. Sare claims reh gaye. Ko raha na pariya paiya. Pariya hoya nahi hai, adhura hai, incomplete hai. Now, I'm pretty sure that the TK don't say this. I don't know. But I'm just saying that it would be good for you to also understand that these people who have interpreted all these different texts, they've read too many other texts. And they're copying and trying to understand from that. They're not trying to get it from the Sach, which is from Gurbani. Stay within that and stay within the fundamental essence, which is oneness. Sara kuch is about oneness. And je wo nahi hai, te phir kakh nahi balle paya. We can believe what we want to believe, we can read lots of books, but life is about living. Life is not just about thinking and believing. Beliefs don't change anything. People believe lots of things, especially religious people. I can believe monkeys fly. Okay. Nahi hona. So this is the essence of the Panjvi body. I'm going to stop here because now we're going to move into the first and second shlok. So we're not going to go there. We're coming up on our time. So let me stop here. Any questions? Yeah.
So you said does it mean that no one understands the true meaning of guru? They use word guru, but they don't understand it.
No, I didn't say no one. I'm saying that, yeah.
It's very open.
Yeah.
Question. So I read like three terms, ik, and then guru, So Guru is helping us to reach one. I'm just telling my answer.
Yeah, of course, please.
So Guru is helping us. So Guru Nanak Dev Ji, Guru Amar Das Ji, they were just the manifestation, and they were helping Sangat around them to connect to one, to a Kalpanak. That's the difference between one and Guru for me. I don't know yet what is saying Sadhu Sant when these terms come in Gurbani. What does that mean? I don't know. So question is like till now, is this Shabad is the only Guru now in present?
As opposed to?
As opposed to, there are so many different groups that have been created now which believes in multiple human guru, like they call them guru, that they are a guru. They in India there are so many gurus and they follow them. Here I have met like Radha Swami group. I have met like they are listening to some person who is in Chicago, and they consider them guru. Sometimes they use guru word for them. So that becomes confusing for me. Like, are they guru or just Shabad is guru? And then who are saints or sadhu or sant, and how to identify them?
I like your question. Very compound question. You have a lot of clauses. Did you ever teach?
Just in college.
It's a good question with many parts.
Reminds me of like in Catholicism, there's priests, the deacons, pastors, and then you have the saints, maybe angels if you want to go like more to like biblical. That's what I'm getting.
Then there are archangels too. Then there are archangels too.
Oh yeah, you also got archangels.
Yeah. So whatever I'm gonna say, I'm gonna speak in English. You'll probably hear things that are not going to accord with what you believe, and it's probably not what most quote unquote Sikhs will believe. Okay? So I want you to play with what's being put in front of you. Don't accept it as the truth. Unfortunately, you and most people have accepted what they've heard as the truth. That's the first problem. I'm not saying what I'm putting in front of you is the truth. I'm asking you to seek and to confirm for yourself. Okay? That'll take, you won't know by tomorrow. It will take you a lot of work. But that will be revelatory, right? It'll reveal. When the yogis in the Siddha Gosht, they asked me, Kavan Guru, Piskatnu Chela. And Guru Nanak's response is, नहीं पता किसे नहीं याद हाँ शब्द गुरु सुरते तो चेला right भी कित्थों आए हो कित्थे जा रहे हो. It's an amazing conversation. I'm sorry that we didn't capture that, but I had started a book on it, but maybe it'll come soon. Shabad is Guru. So when you were asking, is Shabad still Guru? And I asked you, as opposed to what? When? And that question is fundamental. Shabad is Guru. Who's giving that response?
So there are those.
No, the one that I quoted right now.
Right
Who?
now?
Yeah. I said the yogis asked. So who were the yogis asking? Sorry? Guru Nanak. Everything that you believe and everything all these tikakar believe is based on assumptions. I challenge every assumption. So what I'm asking is, the idea of Guru for every quote unquote Sikh starts with Guru Nanak. They asked Guru Nanak, who's your Guru? And what did Guru Nanak say? Shabad Guru. ਸੁਰਤੀ ਧੁਨ ਚੇਲਾ, ਜਿਹੜੀ ਸੁਰਤੀ ਹੈ ਤਿੱਥੇ ਘੜੀ ਹੈ ਸੁਰਤ, ਮਤ, ਮਨ, ਬੁੱਧ. This is Guru Nanak saying in Jap Bani at the end, right? So Guru Nanak ਨੂੰ ਪੁੱਛਿਆ ਤੇਰਾ ਗੁਰੂ ਕੌਣ ਹੈ, ਕਿਸਕਾ ਤੂੰ ਚੇਲਾ. Shouldn't that give a pause to everyone who says Guru Nanak? Because Guru Nanak ਦਾ ਵੀ ਗੁਰੂ ਹੈ. So ਉਹ ਕੌਣ ਹੈ? We need to get to the essence, the tat, not what people believe. What people believe, what my beliefs don't matter. Shabad Guru hai. Shabad ਸਾਰਿਆਂ ਦਾ ਗੁਰੂ ਹੈ. It doesn't matter whether you believe it or not. Everyone is being informed and getting value. What is Guru? Guru is the coming together of light which dispels darkness. Guru, right? That's the word, the literal word meaning. Yeah, thank you, please. So, this Guru informs everyone and everything. Everyone and everything. What does that mean? I'm having a conversation with you. I am not making my blood pump. I'm not really even thinking about the body, right? I'm able to function. Where is the body learning all of this? All of these things that are happening all the time, all of that is from the Gyan of Shabad Guru, which is operating within the framework of Hukam, which is happening within the Raza of the One. But when something happens in life, I have a problem with it because meri raza mandi nahi hai. I'm not accepting it. Right? That's what raza is to accept. I'm not fighting it. So this is a structure. But the Shabad Guru is informing everyone and everything. It doesn't matter if they call themselves Christian or Buddhist or whatever. They might not even believe in a quote-unquote God. And who said that we do? God is not our word. We talk about one. Ik di ਗੱਲ ਹੋ ਰਹੀ ਹੈ. People believe that there's a God, but also with a God there's a devil. We don't have that notion. Everything is one. That's the sachai. No, I'm saying we is not like, you may not believe that, people may not believe that. I'm saying what sachai is. And Guru Nanak and Kabir and everyone is talking about that sachai, which is ik, oankar, sat. That's the sat that's in process. Manifestation is the one. All is one. So ਹੁਣ ਉਹ ਸ਼ਬਦ ਗੁਰੂ ਹੈ. ਸੋ ਫਿਰ ਜਿਵੇਂ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਕਿਹਾ ਸੀਗਾ, what is sadhu, right? In Sukhamani, there's an Ashtapadi in which it is Sad Ka Sangi, right? Sad Ka Sangi ਕੀ ਹੈ? Do you know what Sad means? ਨਹੀਂ, ਸਾਧ ਉਹ ਸਾਧਾਂ ਦੀ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਸੋਚ ਰਹੇ ਹੋ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਨਾ, ਪਰ why are they called sadh? Why are they called sadhu? Yes. ਨਾ ਬੋਲੋ. ਹਾਂਜੀ ਹਾਂਜੀ.
I'm not able to phrase it.
ਨਹੀਂ ਕਰੋ,
But
ਕੋਈ
they are
ਨਹੀਂ.
in like ekant which they just sit and they just
Focus on what? For what? Not on what,
Just-
for what?
to connect to one. They just try to focus, they just go away from the worldly distractions and try to connect to one by just
Yes.
sitting in ekant
And connect किन्हें होना है?
man.
Yes. So फिर संगी कौन है?
Sangi,
Yeah.
the companion.
Companion कौन है? मन. The मन is संगी, ਜਿਹੜਾ ਸਾਥ ਹੈ, ਜਿਹਨੂੰ ਸਾਧਨਾ ਹੈ. That is the one that requires the discipline, is the one that is sang. And sang, why I'm saying sangi, because it has a siari. ਸਾਧ ਕਾ ਸੰਗੀ, ਸਭ ਕੁਝ ਮਿਲਿਆ ਹੈ ਸਾਧ ਕਾ ਸੰਗੀ, ਕਿਉਂਕਿ ਜੇ ਸਾਧਿਆ ਹੋਇਆ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੈ, then what is the man going to be engaged in? Everything you imagine, everything that any undisciplined man will engage in. Nothing to do with such. It's to do with whatever the man makes up, and the man is very powerful. It can make up so much, make up things out of whole cloth. People with good imagination, right? Out of whole cloth. So that's sadh, that's sadhu. So that has to do with man. So that's how I would approach it, is when we talk about sant, what would that have to do with? It's not people. It's about the man. So you could be sadh right now, je sadhya hoya man no. But maybe 10 minutes from now, you might not be a sadh. You might be very much an asadh. It's about present. So I could be a sadh, but I could also be an asadh, because who I am is nirankar. I don't have a form. I am not a thing. I am not a good boy or a bad boy. All of it is flux. And I am part of that. Who am I being? That's what it's about. So sadh, sadhu. And this, when people will say a lot of times, Shabad Guru Granth Sahib. No. It's not. Shabad Guru is always there. Shabad Guru was there before there was an earth. Shabad Guru is Guru Nanak's Guru. And Guru Nanak is not Guru Nanak. Guru Nanak is Gur. This is Gur ki Bani, the Bani that came through Gur. It is for us to learn. This is not for cats and dogs. In fact, it's not even for people who can't understand the language, unless they can understand the languages that are in it. Sometimes we like to boast a lot. And I've given like worldly examples to expose the hypocrisy and the humor in it. And people will be like, oh, it's for everybody. Yes, it's for everybody. Just like healthcare access is available for everybody, but everybody doesn't get it. Do you have a driver's license? Do you have insurance? Those are the questions you are asked. You can't get it. Emergency room is where people go, right? Because that's where they can't turn you away. And that's why a pill might cost $100. And we pay for that in our premiums. So it's available, but that doesn't mean that actually everyone is able to get it. So we're talking about Krishna and Gopiya. If I don't even know the meaning, then what am I going to get out of that? I'm going to think, Bindavan mein rang kiya, pata nahi ki gal ho rahi hai. Keda rang kita siga? This is talking about my man. And kithe kithe khel reha man. ਤੇ ਬ੍ਰਿੰਦਾਵਨ ਕੀ ਹੋਊਗਾ ਜਿੱਥੇ ਖੇਡਦਾ ਹੈ ਬੰਨ ਹੈ ਨਾ ਬੰਨ ਦਿਸ ਗੁਰਬਾਣੀ ਕਾਲਸ ਬੰਨ ਖੰਡ ਇਟਸ ਅ ਜੰਗਲ ਤੇ ਜੁੜਨਾ ਕਿੱਥੇ ਹੈਗਾ ਸੀਗਾ ਉੱਥੇ ਹੈਗਾ ਨਾ ਗਿਆਨ ਖੰਡ ਸ਼ਰਮ ਖੰਡ ਰਾਈਟ ਤੇ ਸੱਚਖੰਡ these are all what people consider to be 5 separate domains, regions. But they're not separate, and they're not like 5 as in like there's some sort of 5 stages that I'm going to go to get to the top of the mountain. Just like, the example I've given is that Anand Bani, it does not tell you that go through the 40 steps to have Anand. It starts with Anand Paya Meri Maya Sat Guru Mein Paya. That's the first line. The first word is Anand. So it's not a mystery book. We can have it now. It doesn't take a lifetime or many lifetimes. It's literally for this life. So don't ever swallow the pill that people would like to say. People who have no commitment will always say, oh, it can always be done later. Koi na, pura janam pe, agle janam ho jayega. I've met people. It brought great sadness to my life. I met somebody who was much older. I frankly couldn't tell you how old, because now I look in the mirror and I'm like, probably people think I'm too old. So I don't know how old they were, but they looked at me and they said, "ਤੁਸੀਂ ਬਹੁਤ ਤੁਹਾਡੀ ਕਿਸਮਤ ਹੈਗੀ ਆ, you're so blessed that you read from Pothi Sahib, Guru Granth Sahib." And I was like, "Well, you could too." And she's like, "Oh, no, oh my God, I can't. मैं पाप थोड़ी करने ने." You've got a book that gives you the gyan to be free right now. And you won't read the book because you think you might do something that is untoward. Somehow the book will get upset. We people, the religious people, always get upset because they're about do's and don'ts, not about reality. But life is not about these little, Sach never gets offended. Right? Sach, sabna da khasana. Only okha hunda, asi okhe hunne ek duje naal, because we get offended too easily. Our morality is very small. This is about one. So all the words, Satgur, Gur ki Bani, Satguru, Gyan Guru, Shabad Guru. We've got to understand these. So I'm not going to give you answers to everything, because these are work that you have to do, and you will get it, and nobody can take it away from you. So we are now up on our time, so let's stop. Vaheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Vaheguru Ji Ki Fateh. Thanks everyone for attending. No, actually we're over our time.